Alright guys, we've got some coverage of the newest Living Story patch. Came out on Tuesday. Feature patch information, data mining stuff, some weird data mine stuff was also Guild Wars 1 related. Alucardalina's here again, and there's some news regarding next week. So, hope you enjoy and stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 108 of the Chronicles of Tyria podcast, a Guild Wars 2 podcast for fans, by fans. I am your host, Lagwin. I am joined yet again by the lovely Alucardalina. So welcome back. And we are going to be talking all sorts of things today. We're going to be discussing the feature pack information, which was not, well, I kind of expected that it was going to happen, but I didn't think it was going to be as big of a deal as last time, and we'll get into that. We'll kind of go very high level over what's happening in the story, mostly because I literally started playing. Actually, I have my game open. I should shut that. So, let's do that. I just got a mail in game. Oh, that's from the character. Never mind. Yeah. So I started playing a half an hour before, and the first mission took that entire half an hour. Because I wanted to try to get through stuff, but I've just been swamped, and we'll get into that too. So how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am tired. Very tired.
I imagine so.
Lots of not sleeping happening lately. That's okay, because it's all going to be worth it in the end. So, let's start off by saying it doesn't look like any... Oh, there we go. People are popping in now. So, if you are watching us now, I feel bad. iTunes, I'm letting you down again. I'm going to fix that soon. Maybe this weekend. I don't know. I got weddings to go to. But if I can, I'm going to upload everything that hasn't been to iTunes. But if you're listening to us on iTunes and you want to watch us live, it's every Thursday night, 9 p.m., twitch.tv/Chronicles of Tyria. We are here fairly consistently, almost every Thursday. And it has been every Thursday, regardless of whether or not I'm in a car or not, which sometimes that happens. I've done that before.
Except when it's on Saturdays.
Except when it's on Saturdays, which is a rarity lately. Just because it hasn't happened. But anyway, so let's start off with our mailbag. Just real quick, a shout out to Vasburg, who's the artist who made this awesome mailbag piece of art for us. His information will be in the description below, but you can check him out at Vasburg.com. Hire him. He is awesome. Yeah. So, first comment, real quick. Jesper Loker says, "Lol, that's quick." It was in relation to my my precursor video where I was tempting the Mystic Forge Stone experiment. So I guess, yeah, relatively speaking, it was like the 5th try, I believe. So quick, yeah. Thanks for that. Moving on, we had a bunch of comments, and thank you guys. It does give us stuff to read and talk about. A bunch of comments on last week's episode. So we got. I'm curious why there is no Alaska said, I'm curious why there is no representation of the Sylvari in the new Destiny's Edge group. Luckily, I'm Sylvari, so I get to fill that void. There was people had originally been speculating that Canuck was gonna fill that spot. Kanak, whatever you want to call him. The Sylvari from South Sun Cove, like he was gonna be reformed, and I realized that he is in this patch. Because I played the first mission, so I saw him there. But
he's such a good character.
Yeah, so they might do that because there was originally like Jory was supposed to die in the first season, so that would have left room for a Sylvari character. But
I personally am okay with them not having a Sylvari in the team. Because I think we're getting force-fed Sylvari just everywhere right now.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a break from them somewhere.
Yeah, and again, with all the stuff that, like you said, with Mordremoth and all the other things that are happening, maybe we don't want a Sylvari on the team. Maybe it's for the best.
I think that the Sylvari that we're supposed to, like, we're getting the representation of Sylvari, just not in the team, but in who the team communicates with and who they're fighting against and everything like that.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Sorry, I'm just saying hello to the chat peeps. Robovin says, "Lag, you're my bud and all, but totally overshadowed by Alu. That smile, no shame, buddies forever, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point." Thank you, Robovin.
Yes, thank you.
Tori G, the wall expert. Not a mini wall, and it's not even meant to be a wall, I don't think. The cool thing, this is reference, I mentioned the growing back piece last week, which has significantly grown from what I've seen in pictures. If you have completed all the stuff for a disco round, it's got a vine coming off of it. The cool thing about growing the back piece is that almost all the items contain instructions on how to use them. The only place people could get lost is where to buy the recipes for the clay pot and the 2 kinds of plant food and maybe bricks of clay. Those recipes/bricks are all purchased from merchants in Drytop, lots and lots of geodes. The plant food recipes are also once per day items, which was nice as I sold 2 or 3 of them for 10, 8, and 7 gold in the first few days. Lots of foxfires required, 48 hours for the first iteration. I now have over 3,000 elder logs slash facepalm. All in all, it's good times, better experienced as a journey than rapid fire buy and make as fast as possible. After I finished it, it gave me another seed, cultivated, which apparently needs another pot to germinate in. Guess we'll have lots more to do with the next release, which will be out by the next cast. Smiley face. Yeah, I haven't really played around with this too much. Did you mess around with the back piece at all?
I have not grown it, but like I said last week, I got I went through and did the scavenger hunt thing, and I did the same thing for the items this week, except the orb was bugged.
Oh, okay.
And they fixed that, so
okay.
It's still pretty fun going out and having to do like jumping puzzles and stuff to get these things.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't done any of it, so that's a thing that I should do soon. Actually, I'm gonna have a long break, so I can do it whenever I want between now and September, sometime-ish. So, but we'll get to that. Soya says, "Yay, a rare sighting of Alu." Aww. And then Travis Lawson, and I think we fixed it, Travis, so you tell us. Could you fix the static that is present throughout the podcast for future ones? It sounds like it's goes away when Alec Carolina talks and comes back when she stops talking. It's really hard to hear lag when at times. Maybe a push-to-talk option for the mic that's having problems. Yes, it's Alu. She's just a static monster. And
if I go anywhere in the room, everything clings to me.
Yep, it's true. It's just the worst. She just has a rough life. She doesn't like to talk about it. No, but she fixed that, and now I don't have to be like, stop talking, and then like hope she says something. I'll be like, then I'm like, right, Alu, and she's like, yeah, and then the static goes down. So but that's all fixed.
I can't hear the static myself, but now I can. My fix, basically, I get to plug in my headphones to my new keyboard, which sends the static my way instead of your way.
Which, now you know what it's like, what it had been like for us forever. Yeah. From the beginning, like, as far as I can remember back talking to you, you've always been, like, just in a field, a static field, if you will.
Yeah, you were stunned, right?
Yes, yep, couldn't get out, stunned. Bad news. Bad news bears. Just real quick as an update for those of you that were curious, it's been a while and we haven't really said anything, but I heard from Brahms just this morning, and he's doing fantastic. He's doing really, really well, and he, hopefully, knock on wood, will be coming back in a more official capacity to any of the various video things we've done. So be on the lookout for that. I mean, hopefully soon, but I don't want to rush anything. So
yeah,
that's good. Alright, before we jump into patch things and data mining and the million articles that ArenaNet put out so far this week, well, here, let's start with something really simple. New comic, No Gathering Tool Equipped, our Chronicles of Tyria webcomic. I just put it out today because I just spaced yesterday. That was Wednesday, and that's when it comes out. Just gone. I don't even know what happened. I was driving to go get a cup of coffee and put gas in my car before the show, and I was like, holy crap, I forgot to post the comic. And Son's like away on work, so she can't yell at me for not putting it up. So it's up now, so you guys can go check that out. I link it in the description, I linked it in the chat. The story progresses yet further for our little band of heroes, and we'll see what happens when they take on this cave troll. But yeah, so a little bit of news. I'm making an executive decision right now, so nobody else knows about this except for me, and now all of you guys. Next week, there will not be a podcast next week. There will not be any video releases either. No Let's Lore, no Lag and the Ladies. Also, you may have noticed there was no Lag and the Ladies from this morning on Thursdays like there normally is. That's because it took us, as you saw, a half an hour to get through the jumping puzzle that we did on Tuesday. So, because it took us a half an hour, and by us I totally mean Amy, because it was all her fault. Because it took us a half an hour to get through that one jumping puzzle, we were just like, we're done for now. So we're just going to release one block of a half an hour episode on Tuesday, rather than two around 15-minute episodes on Tuesday and Thursday. So that's why there was not one episode this morning. There will still be another Let's Lore that's coming out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. But there will not be any Chronicles of Tyria podcast or releases. The comic will still be out, but everything else will not be happening. And you say, why is that not happening? And I say, convention prep. I'm gonna be completely upfront with you guys. I need to work on stuff for DragonCon and costumes and things, and I need all the time I can get. Also, as a special bonus, because we won't be doing a podcast next week, the following week's podcast will be a live podcast from a hotel room and Alacardelina and I will both be in the same hotel room. 1 camera, 2 people, extravaganza. So, possibly dressed as Guild Wars characters. I don't know. But, that's what you guys get. So, we get 1 week off, and then you guys get both of us together for 1 show. So, if you want to mark your calendars, that's Thursday, the 28th of August. We will be doing a show, the 2 of us together. We'll also be at DragonCon, so if any of you guys out there listening are going to be at DragonCon, you should come find us somewhere.
Yes.
Somehow.
And celebrate birthday of game.
Yes,
and
that's true. It's the 2-year anniversary of the game. Is also the same day as our live 2-person podcast, and we're also at DragonCon. Come,
yes.
find me. I'll bring the helmet. We can take pictures. It'll be fun. Yeah, so it'll just... Seriously, though, if you're going to be there, let us know, and we'll totally hang out and take pictures, and maybe have snacks. I don't know.
Yeah.
So just be on the lookout for that. And again, I'll remove it from the Google Calendar that shows up on the Chronicles of Tyria website so that you don't have any false hopes for releases for next week. Also, if anybody wants to come help me with my costume between now and DragonCon, just come on down.
I totally would.
I honestly thought about throwing a party next weekend for like my cosplay friends and be like, hey, who wants to come to Ted's house and help him work on costumes? Like, but I'll provide food and beer, but like everybody come help me do things so that I can get it done. I haven't made that invitation yet, and I'm still confident in my own abilities to work under pressure. So we will see. There also will be pictures. I have to develop a Tumblr like tonight, so that, and there's a Chronicles of Tyria Tumblr too, but so we can tumble pictures of us dressed as Guild Wars, and then send it to ArenaNet so we can try to get on the next Point of Interest podcast.
I'll do that for us.
Okay, see, that's why you're so great.
Your face is great.
Oh my god, you're so nice. Yeah, so if you want to... The other part of it is, since we'll be dressed as Guild Wars characters at DragonCon, if you guys have any silly ideas for pictures, theme pictures, videos, and weird things for us to do while we're there, send them to us in some capacity, because we will definitely try to do that and put videos up, because I will have my camera. If I can sell one of my Proton packs between now and then, I'll have a video camera. So, a better video camera, and then we'll be super good. Also, be on the lookout. If you want to buy a Proton pack, let me know. I've got 2 for sale. Totally not Guild Wars related at all. But anyway, yes.
How shameless.
Yes. Yeah, I have no shame. I just put that all out there. Okay, so that was kind of some... Oh, wait. You have any shoutouts?
I feel like there was someone that I was going to shout out to, but I don't remember, so we'll just forget it.
Okay, I just have a quick shout out to Jebro, Jebro Dan. You guys may know him. He's done some shoutcasting. He's the purveyor and coordinator, writer of all these Sitting on a Couch podcast stuff. Just got a message on Twitter that said, "Don't realize I never I don't think I ever properly thanked you for letting us borrow Casey to do the Sitting on a Couch MMORPG podcast with us." And actually, it may be happening right now. Let's see. What is MMORPG's Twitch name? Do you know?
Nope. I don't normally watch stuff like that.
Well, it's they do a Guild Wars, MMORPG.com does a Guild Wars 2 podcast that Casey is a part of. So that's a thing, in case you didn't know. It usually happens, I think they live stream it. I thought they did it on Thursdays, so...
that would explain why I don't watch it.
10 minutes ago. Oh wait, that was, they shouted out to us. Oops. That would have been silly if I clicked on that and then it took me to a link of us. I'm sorry, folks. It's Into the Mists is the name of the podcast that they do. So let's see if I can find their Twitch. Oh, here we go. Watch live at. There we go. So /host DFROMSGX. Okay, so I think I'm now hosting their Twitch channel on our channel. So if you guys are watching it, you can flip between the two. I don't know if they're live or not, though. But it's now hosted. Done. Okay, so let's talk the final piece of before the mid-season break of Living Stories Season 2, Episode 4, The Dragon's Reach Part 2. I'm gonna be relying heavily on you for this, Alu, because I don't have any frame of reference for anything.
Okay, so you want it like spoiler-free as possible, or?
Yeah, let's go spoiler-free because we can talk about it in person and things like that later. So.
Yes.
Okay. So I know for a fact that it starts off. You need to help. It's like I described it before. It's Phoenix Wright Tyrion attorney. You need to assist Casimir. Basically, you're trying to get. You thought the process of getting Queen Jenna to the summit was more difficult than originally intended, and you need to just. Essentially, there's some sort of conflict, and you need to gather evidence to free her up, essentially. And it is basically like you're talking to people, gathering evidence in a very Phoenix Wright. That gave me a very Phoenix Wright style feel to it.
I highly suggest just loitering around like everyone and listening to all of the banter that's going on, because it's really funny.
Yeah.
There's like the caterer guy who is having like a meltdown.
Yeah.
And then there's also Chauncey.
Yeah.
In there, and he starts stealing food from the table, and that also drives the caterer pretty mad. And of course, Kennick is just a very, very great character now that we get to see more of him.
Yeah.
We don't have him cornered.
Alright, so I don't know what to expect from after this. So how about a high-level overview of what's to come post that mission?
Let's see. You get to go help Timey with Flint again,
okay.
Basically, because for some reason he still doesn't believe that it's her doing the thing. And so you have to basically prove that. Things go not so well, and that is what leads you to the next part, where things still aren't going so well. And that leads you to the last part, where things look like they're going okay. And then things don't go so well.
Alright, interesting.
Except they go great.
Oh, well, then there you go. Alright. So, what else? Sorry, I'm really just like dumping everything on you.
It's alright. As far as like when you actually get to the summit,
mm-hmm.
they have this really weird thing that kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it just seemed a little odd. Is you know how with the character box for the dialogue,
mm-hmm.
that you have what the person is saying, and then you have an option for what you're saying.
Yeah.
Instead, it has what you're saying up here, and it's like continue down here.
Huh.
So you just keep seeing like your character say it, like this huge wall of text, basically. And keep having to click through that big wall of text.
Interesting.
Yeah. Basically, you need to convince the leaders that there is a problem, even though you've already convinced them that there is a problem.
Good. I love doing my same work all over again.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's probably pretty much where the story kind of comes to an end. I'm sure there's some sort of confrontation or conflict of some kind.
Yeah, I'm
deal
trying to mostly avoid those because they're kind of huge, so...
Okay, so then I guess we'll just let the story kind of sit there, then. So it looks like they added new stuff to Dry Top, from what I gather. A new tier to the Zephyrite and some other stuff.
They ended up changing how many geodes you need for the lower tiers as well, which is a little annoying.
Okay. How,
because
give me an example.
I got another fossilized insect thing, and I call it my bug.
Yeah.
I got another bug.
Okay.
And I wanted to make another weapon, so I have to go buy the recipe. And while it was 400 for tier 4 before, it's like 450 or so now of geodes. Yeah. So it's like adding another tier isn't really helping. It's
just making it harder for the lower tiers.
Yeah, like we could barely get to tier 4 this last week. And that's because a lot of things died down in Dry Top. When things die down in Dry Top again, it's going to have problems getting back to tier 4, and it'll have to have more geodes to get in order to get the item that you want.
Yeah.
It's like false difficulty.
Yeah, because I actually I have a bug as well, and I just haven't taken the time to gather enough geodes to get the recipe. And that's like why I have some like, I don't know, 250 or something, maybe 300, I forget. But I just I haven't had the time to gather all the geodes that I need. I haven't, I haven't had the time, but I also haven't put in the time because I've been busy doing other things. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing to me a little bit.
Yeah. I don't appreciate the false difficulty. I think that if they're going to put another tier on, they need to put different things and not affect the other tiers. Because it's just like they're spreading it out too much.
Okay. That makes sense, what you're saying. And it looks like they added the arid region reward track to PvP. I know you're not like a PvP person.
Yeah.
From what I heard, though, the caps, like the highest level thing that you get when you complete the tier, is you get a bug. You just get an insect of your choice if you complete the track. Now, I don't know, and this will actually be interesting because I haven't PvP'd in a while, to go in and check. Perhaps you get geodes along the way.
That would be nice.
Because if you think about it, if you're doing that track to get a bug, you still have no geodes. So if you just PvP, you have no way of getting geodes. So actually a better way for me, who needs more geodes and doesn't really have the time, I can just sink some time into PvP, get another bug, and then get geodes that way. That might be a better way to go about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a cool thing.
I noticed they're making it significantly harder to craft things nowadays.
Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it? Like, you have to do almost... I mean, I hate to use the word grind, but it is. You have to grind, essentially, to get whatever, you know, any kind of new stuff.
You have to do events to get geodes. That is a grind. So, and they've very much been against grind, which is making me worry a bit. Because not only do you have to get the geodes for the weapon, you have to be level 400 in whatever crafting it needs.
Yep.
And you also have to, you know, get the bug itself.
Right.
And it's just like you have to get the geodes, get all the supplies to get yourself up to 400 if you're not already there. Like, you have to go mine stuff. And then you have to go through and either get geodes for the lockpicks to get the buried chest, or you have to do a bunch of story stuff for lockpicks to get the chest in order to get the bug.
Yeah. I mean, it does kind of, at least if you look at the flip side of it, it does add a little bit more like prestige to when you have those things, because you do, you know, it is, because honestly, legendary weapons don't really have that anymore. Like,
Yeah.
the market and the world is so saturated with legendary weapons that to see someone with a legendary weapon, at least to me, I feel like it's not like, oh my god, that person did all that stuff. Like, look at how much work they put in. Like, I recognize having a legendary that it is a decent amount of work, but I feel like because so many other people have it, like, I don't see a ton of the amber weapons kicking around compared
Yeah.
to the amount of legendaries that I see.
I think that they need to keep legendaries as a sort of prestige and not have anything over it. If they're
Yeah.
going to put a lot of work, make you put a lot of work into something, they should put it into legendaries. Moderate amount of work to, you know, a little harder amount of work should be for the ascended weapons, which is why I'm not too concerned about the bug weapons.
Okay.
But pretty much a lot of things that we're crafting nowadays are ascended. I just feel like they need to go back and put in some weapons that we can maybe craft that aren't so difficult, because it's just constantly difficult.
Yeah. I guess real quick I can just pull up a sort of show. That's just me. We don't want that. We want this. You can kind of see right here what the stage of the grown backpack looks like in this little image. This is on the release page. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in to make it any bigger, but you can see that it shows what some of the progress looks like. So, alright, what else do we have? We had, weapon scans. Now, if you recall, last week, I said that there would be, I had a theory that this week they were going to release a new set of weapon skins in the gem store. Because they put the weapon skin, the tickets on sale, like they were double ticket drops last weekend.
Yeah.
I said that. Now, I don't remember what I said, but I made up some weird thing what I thought the weapon skins would be.
The Mordremoth thing, I don't remember.
Yeah.
The shadow thing.
Well, it turns out it was chaos weapons.
Yes.
Similar, for those of you that are Guild Wars 1 players, Chaos Axe is something that you will definitely be familiar with. But now we have Chaos Every Weapon. And I think, did I see that some of them have different sound effects?
I have not heard.
I know Dolphy had something on her website for the Greatsword, I believe. Now, I don't know if that was just to show off the static effects of you moving around, or if it does have a like specific draw and sheath sound.
Most people that have been talking have said that there isn't. That's why a lot of people are actually disappointed in this weapon set. It's because they see it as like kind of like a butchered set. Like they just took skins and put white on them.
Mm. Yeah, and that part of one of the best things about the Chaos Axe in Guild Wars 1 was the ability to dye it.
Yeah.
And dye it different colors. Same thing with the Chaos Gloves that you could get later on in Eye of the North. And obviously we can't dye weapons. So I feel like you kind of lose that. I mean, maybe that'll come in the feature patch. I don't know. But I doubt it.
I have to say that I personally like all of these weapons, though. Especially the staff, which is one of the first, like, ticket scrap weapons that I have actually really wanted. Because we always get these staves that are just like, here's a stick with something giant on the end.
Yeah.
And possibly something giant on the other end. And I'm just like, I just want a stick. Not a stick with a crystal on the end. I just want a stick. Something that just goes up and down. It's like it doesn't have to blossom or something, you know? And then they gave it to me, and it's white, and it's glowing. It has these particle effects on it. It's really awesome. A lot of people hate it because they see it as just a stick and boring.
And that's all you wanted, was just a stick.
That's all I wanted.
Well, Euphonium here, or Alejandro in the chat says, he's a great sword, doesn't recognize any special sound. And Guy says he was thinking too that maybe dying weapons will come feature pack. And we'll kind of run through what we do know about that in just a sec. Aside from the Chaos Weapon skins, there's also the Wreath of Cooperation. Kind of a random helm that looks like a laurel, sort of golden laurel or crown.
It should have been bought with laurels.
Would have made them, yeah.
It also has a severe clipping issues.
I could see how on any race with hair, because the picture that they show it on is a dude with a shaved head, like when the gem store image.
Yeah.
So I could imagine that anything with any sort of, you know, horns, hair, whatever, that it's just gonna clip like crazy. Big
yeah,
Asura
it's like
ears.
they fit it to your head rather than like giving it any space. I think they just need to increase it just a bit more.
Yeah. Mini Mordrum Ley Leecher, Mini Pet. It's fairly standard, and they added utility primers are now completely purchasable outright. You don't have to buy a not worth it combination pack to get like 2 utility primers.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I still will never buy a utility primer. I may get one out of Blackline Chest, and then I'll have it and use it, but other than that, I will never buy one.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you're looking to get a friend or family member into Guild Wars 2, as of right now, until... Oops, don't do that. Until next... not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday, it's 50% off. So, buy it for your friends, get your Christmas presents done early, whatever you gotta do. 50% off Guild Wars 2, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
So, now's the time, because the deals aren't going to get any better than half off. But, like, seriously, like, 20 bucks and you've got yourself, like, hey, you want a great addictive game? Merry Christmas.
Go buy yourself a second account.
Yeah, that's true, too. Make yourself a European account so you can play over against the overseas people.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah. They announced the Guild Wars 2 World Tournament Series, which is competitive PvP, but it's to win actual money. Like 50, I think 50 grand.
Yeah.
There's a pool of 50 grand to win, so that's pretty neat.
I wish I could play games for money.
I mean, you play Guild Wars 2, we just gotta practice up. Gotta toughen you up.
Yeah. Make a man out of me.
Yes, exactly. You will be swift and mysterious. It'll be great.
I'll defeat the Huns.
Yep, totally. And I won't send you home either. Pack up, go home, you're through. Alright, so I guess we'll jump to Feature Pack then, which was sort of a surprise to me. I knew they said they were going to do like 2 feature packs a year, kind of bookend the living story with feature packs, but I just didn't see it coming. So there will be September 9th, coincidentally the same day that Destiny, the Bungie MMO shooter, comes out. Don't know if that's a coincidence or not, probably, because it's just a Tuesday, but there you go. So they said that they announced the World Tournament Series was the first part, and the first week they're going to cover for 3 weeks all they're going to be releasing. So week 1 is competitive week. So they announced the tournament, and then they announced PvP visual and reward updates. So one thing I'm actually kind of a pretty big fan of it is they're going to add a toggle option in your settings where you can make all of your enemy opponents look like they're all going to have a standardized look. So all of the opponents, like if the opposing team is a thief, it's going to look like a male human thief wearing this armor set wielding these weapons. But if it doesn't matter if that's a Char thief, a Norn thief, an Asura thief, or a human or Sylvari thief, they're all going to have the standard size and standard look to them, so it makes it easier for you, which also should probably reduce on your lag time, so you don't have to worry about particle effects or anything like that.
Yeah.
Your team still looks the way your team does, and you don't have to do this. This is a toggleable option. And I guess it makes sense if you're like really hardcore into, you know, PvP and you want to make it easier on yourself. You know, it probably would be easier because, you know, you can have an engineer that dresses like, you know, that look what you would perceive as a thief, but it's actually an engineer or ranger and thief or whatever.
Yeah, it'll be really useful, I'm sure.
So that's one thing. And they also are adding PvP unique armor skins, heavily influenced by the Hall of Heroes from Guild Wars 1, which I think was a great decision to make it all kind of gilded and pull from Guild Wars 1 sort of lore. So there's going to be the Glorious Armor and the Glorious Heroes Armor. The Glorious Heroes Armor is like super uber high tier, and the only way you can get it is for like doing things like the All-Star Tournament and like the high level tournaments. That will be the Glorious Hero reward. But you can get just a regular old Glorious. They're going to add a Glorious reward track in PvP. Each time you max out the track, you get a piece of Glorious Armor. So you get a box that gives you one piece, and you can keep repeating it to get a full set of armor. So that's really cool. It's nice to see them giving something to the PvPers, because they.
I guess I'll have to PvP.
We can train. It'll be good. It'll be a good time. We'll totally not stream it. We'll totally stream it.
No, don't.
Oh, she heard me. Alright, so the 18th, which is Monday, they'll be releasing something called a Balancing Act. I'm gonna guess that's just, there's been a lot of talk about the updates they're gonna be making to Ranger and Engineer and Warrior and Thief and things like that. Going around, that was in the Ready Up podcast, they talked a lot about it. So I'm pretty sure that that's going to be just all about balance and what's coming with the feature pack, because that's when they're going to do the big balance updates as well, is with the feature packs, which is both a good and a bad thing, because if something gets like super OP in PvP, it's super OP for 6 months before they fix it. So next on the Tuesday is Tricks and Explosive Finales. Any ideas? Because it's competitive,
really.
So it can be World v World as well as PvP.
Well, I don't think it is included, but did you hear about the commander tags?
Yeah, and actually the 20th update is called Command the Rainbow. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be when they talk about that. But yes, there was an interview with somebody at Gamescom from Anet that said...
Is it Devin Carter?
Yes. You want to just talk about it? I've been
Carver,
talking.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. You talk about it.
Basically, the price for commander tags is going to go up. It's going to be 300 gold. However, tags are now going to be account bound. There will also be different colored tags, like instead of just blue, you might have yellow and red and green. As far as I know, and I can't say I'm a big fan of it, is that you have to buy each tag color.
Yeah.
For 300 gold.
Yep.
Which I have my own opinions about those if you want to hear them.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's nice to see that they're finally making it account bound, which has been something people have been complaining about from day one. And their whole original thing was they want you to be able to identify with a character. Like, you're Commander Alucardalina, and I know Commander Alucardalina. But if you're on a different character and you have a commander tag, I will know that that's Commander Alucardalina, and I will make that association, and I'll just think you're somebody new. Which makes sense, to an extent. But
until you get trolls like other commanders.
Yes. Yes, you, Guy and Gw2 here. Yes, get them now. Get a commander tag now when it's 100 gold. Before the price goes up to 300 gold. And you'll have it unlocked for all of your characters if you get one now while it's only 100. But, as Alu said, it's only going to be blue. And you'll have it for all your characters. If you want to have a green commander tag, there's also no hierarchy to the colors, and the various colors mean nothing. It's just preference. Now, if you remember, they actually data mined this a while back, and we talked about it back then, that there was going to be colored commander tags. I think it was, you have blue, and it was going to be like red, yellow, green, and purple, I think, were the colors that came up when they data mined them way back when. But yeah, you have to pay. You'll have the blue one unlocked if you have it already, but then you have to pay another 300 gold to just get one that's a different color.
Yeah.
I feel like that should be an option. Like,
I definitely believe it should be an option, because the reason people even suggested this, which, if you look at the forums, it's based on, they base this sort of thing on what the players suggested. On the ideas players gave them, is they suggested it because it would be nice to be able to coordinate using the colors rather than just having two tags on the map that are blue. Say you use a red tag for like a Havoc squad and a blue tag for your normal Zerg. Now it's like say you want the other commander to take over for the Zerg, because that's the only other commander on the map and the other one has to leave. They can't change over to blue, and people are going to come and get confused. So just things like that. It's not making it easy to coordinate as people have suggested it for. It's just it's not good.
Yeah. No, I agree.
They definitely need to make switching colors an option to be able to properly coordinate like it was suggested for.
Yeah, I mean, even at the very least, even if they don't have it like that, and what you're saying makes the most sense, if you already bought a commander tag, you should be given the option when these new one comes out to say if you want to stay blue, like a one-time choice. If they're not going to do what you're saying, like, you already have blue as a one-time thing, you can choose to pick green or whatever, but, you know, or you can stay as blue, and that should be just like you should be grandfathered in if you have that. Also, if you purchased 3 or more commander tags, you can file for a refund, because they were previously account bound, so if you wanted multiple commanders, you had to buy multiple tags. So to jump back, tricks and explosive finales, yes, I'm agreeing with everybody in the chat. I'm thinking something to do with finishers. Tricks, I don't know. Command the Rainbow, we're pretty sure that's pretty obvious. And the final one, which is next Friday, or next Thursday rather, is prepare to fight. And I have no idea, what did you say, prepare to fight?
Is it still going to be competitive?
It's still competitive week.
I have not given it any thought.
Guy, yes, the colors are not tied to anything. They said pretty much in the interview that it was just a preference thing. It's not like any reason. It's if you want to be your own unique snowflake and spend an extra 300 gold, you can do it. But that's it. It's not like they specifically said there is no hierarchy. You don't have to unlock one color to unlock another color. Just if you want to be different. Again, like Alu said, it makes sense if like your server gets together and you say, okay, red commanders are Havoc, blue commanders are Zergs, green commanders are, I don't know, whatever else. But that you'd have to buy multiple tags. And here's the other thing: if you buy a different color, can you easily toggle it and change color? Because I would assume you'd have to be able to, but you never know. Can you have multiple colors on a character? Like if you spend a ton of gold?
It showed in the screenshot, it showed the option to click on the tag and change the color.
Okay. I missed the screenshot then. The only thing I can think of for Prepare to Fight is it seems too soon to be Season 3 of World v World to me, but that's what it could be, maybe.
Yeah.
Or some other sort of tournament. Or maybe it's a new fighting. That could be it. Maybe it's just deathmatch rather than conquest PvP, and it's Prepare to Fight in a more literal sense.
Yeah.
That would be great. I would actually really enjoy that. Huh. Okay, week 2. We don't have the day breakout for week 2 yet, but our second week of September 14 feature pack reveal is focused on improving the Guild Wars 2 experience for new and veteran players alike. It's a pretty broad statement, and we don't have a day-to-day breakdown. But what do you think could be in here? Improving the experience for new and veteran players alike.
I think they'll be improving bosses yet again.
Okay.
I think...
Remember, we got a whole week to just... so you need at least 5 things.
Yeah. Like, I think that they're probably going to do, you know, improvements to bosses and maybe dungeons.
Okay. That would be good.
I think that they'll probably end up doing just... of course, they're going to do a bunch of, like, skill adjustments.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go really in-depth in it with that, though.
Wooden Potatoes had a theory a while back that he thought they might bring back attributes that Guild Wars 2 originally had. I don't know if you remember from early betas, when you leveled up, you were going to choose to put points in, like, precision or something like that. You know, like, each time you leveled up, you'd have, like, 10 points to put in precision or power, and, like, now, when you level up, you do get points, but it's equally distributed across all of your stats. And that was going to be something that was permanent in Guild Wars 2 in beta, because you were going to be able to change your traits and all that, and your skills on the fly, but your attribute choices were going to be permanent. He had a theory that maybe they're going to bring that back, and that's why they've been adding things like new stat combinations that make no sense. Like the Nomad stats, like who would ever use those? But maybe if you can play around with your attributes, that could be a potential where they add that. I mean, we already have the wardrobe, that was a big thing. Maybe that could be where Dying Weapons comes in, potentially.
Yeah.
If that was going to be something they were going to add. But it says the experience. Could be, oh, you know what? It could be customizable UI.
Could be.
That would be a good one. A big one. First person mode also would be a good one.
Yeah.
And the reason I suggest first person mode is because they've backpedaled on a lot of things that they said they were, like, definitely not going to do. Like a wardrobe, and the way they've done a bunch of different things. They're like, oh, we don't really need that. And they're like, actually, we need that, so let's add that to the game.
It's like, people really want that, so let's do it.
And the reason they said they didn't want you to have first person is because it's a game based on cosmetics, so they want you to be able to see your character. Well, I mean,
you don't have to see it; you can feel your character.
I mean, Guild Wars 1, it was a game based on cosmetics, pretty much. I mean, we are playing Prophecies right now, the hardest, if you will, to level up in, and we're level like 15, 16, and we're not even a quarter of the way through the campaign, and we're not really that good right now. We're kind of dying all over the place. And like but it's all based on, you get stats and armor. Like the armor that we're going to be able to buy in like a couple of outposts from now is highest armor level. The only thing that's different between the rest of the armor we can buy later on in the game is just it looks cooler.
Yep.
But you could still go in first.
And you have elite.
Yeah, and then you could go into first person mode though. Still, even if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think that they should definitely understand that some people like the look of their character, but they like the look of the game better.
Yeah. Maybe they'll add follow mode. That could be added in there too, potentially.
I'm following Catbutt.
Yes. So those are all things that I feel would get added into the experience for new and veteran players, because those both would change things. Customizable UI is really, I feel like that's a simple thing. Like, why don't we have that yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's week 2, a fresh start. Then there's week 3, collecting and trading. In the September 2014 feature pack, we're rethinking the way you collect and trade items. First thing comes to my mind, an actual trade system.
Trade system.
I can go up to you and say, Lagwin wants to trade to Alacardelina, and then go.
The only potential problem I see with that is, like, killing the marketplace.
Yeah.
Because people are going to stand around like it's Spamadon.
Yeah. And then
to avoid marketplace fees.
Yeah, and I can't really think of any way they can get around that. It's like, well, they have to be on your friends list, and they have to be in your party, but like all those you could just do, you know, no way. You know, but it is kind of annoying where, like, if I just want to give you something. Fresh start. That could also be guild halls, maybe. You know, a new way to experience things. Guild halls.
Maybe they'll put in capes.
Maybe. That's also a thing. Yeah, Guy says it'll probably be trade with your friends and guilds only. Yeah, I mean, even still, and it says a new way to collect, so maybe we'll get, I don't know, new bags. Maybe bags you can put within your bags.
Maybe, trading amongst your own characters.
That would be good.
Because a lot of people have concerns about the account-bound unlimited mining items, and they want to trade them between their characters. Maybe they'll finally put bag slots that can be used for all characters. That
would be cool. Maybe it'll also add with the experience like a mini pet slot.
Yeah.
Moo Cow, you said, can't you just mail items? Yes, you can, but you can only send 2 mails in rapid succession before you're suppressed for excessive messaging. You can only send 5 things at a time, which is fine, but you can't also... A trade system would be, I'm gonna give this to you, and then you see what I'm gonna give to you, and then you accept it. Or you have to offer something back to me, and then I accept that offer. Because people do this right now, where it's like, I'm selling Sophia Fairborn, or whatever the hell her name was. Always selling crap in Lion's Arch. And be like, I'm selling Chaos Gun and Volcanus for 1,000 gold. And then you're like, great, I want to buy it. And then it's like, do you send her 1,000 gold? And then she sends you it maybe, or she just keeps it? And ArenaNet would just, they're not going to back you up on that. Because they're going to tell you shouldn't have done that, you should have used a trading post. But it would also be nice to just be able to run up to somebody, rather than having to stop, open up your mail, drag an item in. Just right-click on an item in your inventory and say, run up to somebody, hit trade, and then it pulls up your inventory and just drag and drop your items. Chemical Kid. Shoulder armor in the picture. That is human tier 2 cultural heavy armor shoulders. I've since changed since then because that would have been a pain in the ass to cosplay.
We gotta get a screenshot of you and I. It's just you and me on the show.
Yeah, no, I do. We need to... I didn't get like a picture of your character, so I could just place it over Son's character's head, like I did with Brahms' character with her. Yeah, unfortunately, human only, tier 2 cultural. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where a tier 2 armor looks so much better than a tier 3, which I find seems to happen a lot for a lot of armors. But yeah, thank you for noticing. It's changed since then. I just went with standard Guardian shoulders with the glowy things on the sides, because that'd be more fun to make, theoretically.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know. Well, hey, I got the resin in the mail today, so
Good.
tonight might be step one. I might film it in case it comes out awful. Or great, either way, then I'll have footage. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of cool stuff potentially there, so that's exciting. And I guess we'll be updating you guys. The whole next week will pass, and then the following week, the last week of it, Carolina and I can talk about it live together in a hotel room. It's not nearly as sketchy as it sounds, I promise.
I can make it sound sketchier, but I won't.
Well, that's never stopped you before, but yeah. Alright, so that's that. Last up on the list here is data mining stuff. Because, it's data mining time. Okay. Let me get this back to me here. Here we go. So, we got the Mega Man miner's helmet on now. We are ready to mine some data things. So, I will copy this and put this in the description here. Or in the chat, rather. First up, huge surprise to me, that shaman, he data mined skins from Guild Wars 1 in Guild Wars 2. The Raiment of the Lich. Have you seen this?
Yes. I am so excited.
Yeah, so I will open this up right here. For those of you Guild Wars 1 players, this was a skin that you could unlock, or you could buy. You purchased this. It did have big, like feathery black wings off the back, and he didn't have them. They sort of have like a cloven foot thing, and this was a costume that you would unlock, and you would just have this combat-oriented costume, just like the costumes we have now. So, that was data mined, so hopefully those actually become a thing, probably around Halloween, but it's mid-August, so we're not too far off of, of having that happen. Also, we forgot that the collector week, when they're announcing all that stuff, is also happening anniversary week, so that could be interesting stuff to do with that.
Yeah.
Alright, so his other data mine stuff, which I'll put the link again in the chat here. Oops. He has all the chaos stuff. Belinda's greatsword makes an appearance. Belinda tribute weapon skin, the Delacroix family blade, and it looks like it can be imbued, so it will be ascended. So it's either craftable, or you can get it and then make it imbued. Vine skins. Now this, I'm assuming, is the back piece. Cultivated vine, Mordrum vine infused. And then there's Maudry. I didn't see this because it's a chat code. Have you seen it?
Marjorie?
Yeah.
I have not seen, like, the actual item. I've seen, like, the description of it says.
Okay.
For the current in-game one.
Yeah, I see the vine that you cultivated from seed seems to almost like you. Is it possible that it is loyal to you as a child to a parent? That's interesting. That was data mined.
Yeah, it's you feed it bloodstone dust.
Okay.
And it gives you gifts.
Huh. Interesting.
That's what I've heard anyway, so.
I feel like I need to get one then. How does one get one?
I don't know. I think it's part of the,
Is it part of the scavenger hunt thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Headgear was mined. Salvaging. Silver-fed salvage-o-matic. This rare salvage tool never runs out of charges. It can break an unlimited number of items down to their base components. 25% chance of rare materials. 80% chance of recovering upgrades. Costs 1 silver per use. Now, I'm not sure, but do you know off the top of your head how that compares to the copper-fed salvage-o-matic?
I'm assuming that this will... The copper one gives you, like, the basic components or whatever. Mm-hmm. Since it's this master salvage kit, I'm going to assume that it's, going to be able to salvage rares and get the ectos and stuff off of them.
Let's see. I mean, I'm looking this up on the wiki right now. Let's see. This one, the silver fed, which takes 1 silver per use, has a 25% chance of rare materials and an 80% chance of recovering upgrades. The copper fed has a 10% chance of rare materials and a 20% chance of recovering upgrades. So the silver one's definitely better for anything that has an upgrade in it. It's not as good as the Black Lion salvage kit, which is a 100% chance of recovering upgrades and a 50% chance to get rare materials. So Black Lion is still the best. Do you think they'd ever make a gold-fed salvage-o-matic that uses 1 gold per use? Do you think that's ever a thing they would make?
No, I think that's way too much.
Yeah, probably.
I think that the 1 silver per use is too much, since you're nearly having to buy that for even more. It's like you could buy the salvage kits that are already in the game, and get the number of salvages. I don't think would make up for the number of silver you'd use to salvage the same amount of items with the new salvage kit.
Okay, that's a good point. Someone should do some math on that once it comes out.
Yeah.
Then there was scrolls that were mined. It says skill point scroll 30, skill point scroll 20, 15, 10, 5. Does this mean that there will be skill point scrolls added in the game that give you from anywhere from 5 to 30 skill points per click? Would be pretty
probably.
crazy. And then
maybe it's a birthday thing.
Well, the next thing, there's more interesting stuff with that, is then there's experience scroll 25, 30, 40, 45, 50, 60. Does that mean there's going to be experience scrolls that level you up to level 60 right off the bat? I don't know how you would get those. 2 new mini pets, mini beetle, mini Mordrum Leyleecher, we already know about. Then there's something that says, it's my birthday and I cry if I want to. And there's a birthday blaster and a birthday gift. The birthday blaster and gift both have chat codes. There's a birthday vendor. You've had too much sugar. You can't benefit from another birthday cake right now, it says. Your character has already benefited from a scroll of this type, which means you can probably only benefit from 1 scroll of a certain type. And then
maybe the experience scrolls.
Possibly. Then you have a character that is more than 1 year old. You have a character that is more than 2 year old, and it goes all the way up to 10th year birthday. So apparently they've already started planning things out for the next 8 years of birthdays in Guild Wars 2.
What if the scrolls go by birthday year?
So it starts at 20, then it goes to 30, then it goes to 40. Like as the years go on?
Yeah.
That would make sense. And then there's also birthday titles.
Loyal. You can already get loyal.
You do, just for the first year?
I'll have to tell you how to get these, which isn't common knowledge right now, so it'd be very helpful to tell people, is you go to Lion's Arch, and you go to Lion's Court, where the statue is. You have to look for the birthday vendor. And you go talk to him, and he's just like, if you did not receive a title for your first year birthday, then I will give you the title Loyal.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is your first year birthday title.
Well, and I'm guessing the next year, if this list is accurate, is Veteran. Then Faithful, Relentless, Devoted, Steadfast, Dedicated, Committed, and then Unwavering. So, according to that, I think your 10th year anniversary would be you have the title Unwavering. Which also makes me wonder why they planned out only 10 years. Does that mean that's when the sequel for Guild Wars 3 comes out, 11 years from now?
I think they had to stop somewhere.
I guess. Then it says 2-year anniversary sale. More sales every day. Set 1 miniatures available for a limited time. Set 2 miniatures available for a limited time. Then there's a nourishment buff that's plus 40 to all attributes, plus 10% karma, plus 15% magic find, and plus 15% experience from kills.
Could be cake.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might be birthday cake, potentially. It doesn't have a time limit, so we don't know. Miscellaneous, travel around Tyria diplomatically, 1 hairstyle kit, 1 identified green dye, 6 transportation stones, a top hat, and then some primers, tier 6 of the Zephyrite, and then Summit Heroes reward, back piece, Chaos Orb, Grow Lamp, Heatstone. These are all things that are kind of already in the game. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. But there's some definitely interesting things related to that could be coming out in the next few weeks, especially with the potential of the game anniversary. Oh, look at you! You're just on top of things here. Unless this is last week. It's last week, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I just didn't notice it.
For the
craft thing. I didn't delete the old one out. I forgot.
Oh, that's fine. I have one. I actually have 2 because I stumbled upon the other one while looking for the first one.
Okay.
If that's okay.
No, that's fine. Totally fine.
This is the one I was looking for, which is really pretty.
Ooh. Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That is really pretty.
This is the other thing, which is just awesome.
I wonder if that's anybody we know. It sort of looks like Gw2's character a little bit, except without Twilight. That's kind of funny. And then the next one. Wow. That is some dedication.
Yeah, I thought about doing the same thing, except in like RPG Maker, and doing instead like the World versus World Borderlands map in Minecraft.
Wow, that is a lot of blocks.
Yeah.
Jeez. Wow, so that's our Gw2 Craft Corner, brought to you by Carolina. So be sure to check out the 2 DeviantArt pages. They'll be linked in the description. Alright, and then we're pretty much done here. Did you have anything that you wanted to say?
No, I think I pretty much said everything.
Okay, just again, once again, a reminder to anybody who may have missed it, came in late, etc. There will be no Chronicles of Tyria video releases of any kind next week. There will still be the comic. There won't be Lag and the Ladies, Let's Lore, or the podcast due to crazy last-minute preparations for DragonCon. Again, if you're going to be at DragonCon, let us know. Come find us. Alu and I will both be there. We're not doing any panels or anything. We're just going to be there, being con goers.
Chillaxing as con goers.
Yeah, that's how we roll. Especially the first time at DragonCon, I don't feel like I'd be too nervous to do a panel. The peeps are the real deal. But anyway, I do have a question of the week. We did this the last time that the feature pack was going to come out, and people really took to it. So, for the question of the week for this week, sorry, Robovin in the chat. What the hell am I going to watch? Go back and
old
watch
episodes.
Yeah, I was gonna say old episodes.
Reruns.
Catch anything you missed. But anyway, the question of the week for this week is: go through and take a look at all of the existing things that are on the ArenaNet website for what's going to be coming with the future feature pack, and we want to hear what you think the best idea, what your ideas are for the upcoming feature pack. What do you think is going to be the fresh new experience for new and veteran players, the interesting way to collect and trade things, and the other ones that we have outlined for competitive week? What do you think they'll put in the game? Yes, Guy says watch Sailor Moon. I agree. Go watch Sailor Moon Crystal. It's awesome.
Not so much the faces, but I mean, it's still pretty true.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
How to draw manga faces.
Very shiny. Very shiny. Very shiny lips, too. Like, over lip shine, in my mind. Whatever. That's irrelevant. You know. Sailor Moon. Yeah, go check it out. It's good. Also, if you want to watch the English dub, they're slowly working through the redub of the English of the original series, rather. But yeah. Go watch Ninja Turtles. It was okay. Go check that out in the
I heard
theaters.
it was bad.
It was. This isn't the place to discuss that. There were a few nitpicky things, but overall, good movie, I'd say. And if you have the breadth of knowledge of Ninja Turtles that I have, you can see they pulled elements from all different aspects. I mean, Megan Fox was awful, but honestly, did you expect anything better going into that? I mean, it was more heavily influenced from the new comics, pulled stuff from the old comics, had a couple of things from the old cartoon, some stuff from the new cartoon. Just get rid of the lips. Turtles don't have lips. That's my big thing. And don't have Tony Shalhoub voice Splinter, because he's not sagely at all. He's Monk, not Splinter. But anyway, I'm gonna write a full-blown review on this. It'll be up on my website when I get some time. So after Dragon Con. I'll have to try to remember the movie. My dogs are starting to bark. I feel like that's as good a time as any to end this episode. Thank you guys for coming out and watching us live. Thank you to the little shout out from Sitting on a Couch MMORPG, Jebro, Casey. We love you. We hope you have fun while you're over there doing their show with them. You guys should also check that out. I will link the information in the description. For the 108th episode of the Chronicles of Tyria podcast, my dogs are barking. My name is Lagwin.
And I'm Alu, all about the buds, Cartolina.
And we will see you next time.